Ofochi, please let me know once you've logged in. And can all of you let me know if you have a form on your homepage? So we started on the form. So I'm not too sure if everyone has it on, but I think we just literally added it onto the page. I don't think we've done any editing for that. Or did we do editing? I think we did actually, because I have it here, but I don't know if everyone does. So just let me know in the chat. Yes, I have the form. Ofochi, please let me know if you've logged in. Ofochi, please let me know if you have logged in. Okay, so I've just added a form. I have it. So what I'm going to do is I want us to start again with the form, right? So let me just share my other screen since we're all logged in. Before I move on, I just want anyone who has not logged in, please let me know in the chat so that I don't remove this just yet. Please let me know if you are yet to log in the chat. Okay, I'm going to move on. So I've just started to share my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my website. Perfect. Perfect. So before we go in, I just wanted to show you what my website looks like, right? Is there anyone that has anything, or is there anyone that doesn't have anything that I have here? So what we've got is the banner. After the banner, we then have this section, which is the About Me section. After that, we've got the project section, which has 4 projects. And then we have the contact container. Give me a thumbs up if you have all of these containers. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Sebastian, you said I need the picture for the background. Which picture for the background? Are you referring to this one here in the banner? Okay. So Sebastian, I'm going to send that to you whilst we're doing this when I give you guys a task. So there's one thing that I want us to do right now. So here you will see DMF Group 2, right? So that is the name of the website. So give me a thumbs up if you have the name of your website here. Give me a quick thumbs up if you have that in the chat, because I want us to work towards getting that off. So everyone has that. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to show you guys how to take that off. And then we're going to continue with the form. So before I do that, I'm just going to put the website in the group chat, just so that all of you can add that in a tab. So currently, you guys should all have 3 tabs. One tab should be this, which is your dashboard. Another tab should be your actual homepage that we're currently editing. And the next tab should be Ram's website. Personally, when I'm working, I like to have minimal tabs, only the tabs that I need, just to avoid confusion and just so that everything's a lot nicer and neater. But anyways, so as I said to you guys before, when you're opening the homepage, I told you to right click and open in a new tab. The reason why I do this, and I've said this before, is so that we always have this dashboard open, and it opens anything that we're going to open, we'll open in a new tab. So on the dashboard, and I want all of you to follow what I'm saying as I say this. So on the dashboard, I want you to hover, not click, hover over appearance. Then I want you to go down to theme settings. I'll repeat that. So on the dashboard, I want you to hover over appearance, and then I want you to go onto theme settings. Click that for me. And then you should come across this, right? So I want you to select this one here, disable cross-site header and footer. So we're just going to click that so that the tab's on, and then we will save settings. I'm just going to repeat that for anyone that did not hear. So go onto the dashboard, hover over appearance on the left. I want you to click onto theme settings. Once you've done that, you should have this page. And I want you to untick or untoggle, should I say, the disable cross-site header and footer. Then you need to scroll down and select save settings. Once you've done that, I want you guys to come back onto the home page that we're currently editing and just refresh the page for me. Just quickly refresh the page, and you should notice that that is no longer present. Give me a thumbs up if you've been able to remove that for me. Give me a thumbs up if you've been able to remove the site of the name of your site. Perfect. So all of you should have this. And I want us to start with the form. What I'm going to do is, I know some of you are going to have the form already, but I want us to start again with the form, because that was done in, I think, maybe the last 5-10 minutes. So I want us to just go over it quickly. I know in terms of these different sections here, I already explained it, but I'm just going to go over it again briefly. So I want all of you to remove the tab, right? I want you to cancel the tab that has the form. And then I want you to add the form tab again in a different container. Yep. So the task that I'm giving you guys is to add a form underneath the contact us. And I want that form to be in a separate container. Yeah. So I'll give you guys about 1 minute to do that. In the meantime, Aisha, I'm going to help you. Aisha, when you select themes, I want you to go into appearance, and then I want you to select themes, right? And when you select themes, is Hello Elementor an option? Does it say activated? Does your Hello Elementor say activated?
It says Hello Elemental and it says active.
Okay, share your screen for me.
I can't, like, when it doesn't show on one of like the options.
So just to confirm, so you said when I hover over appearance, only themes and editor. So when you say appearance, are you here on my
Yeah.
screen? And the option is what?
So when I go on appearance, the things underneath is only themes and editor.
Only themes and editor. Themes and editor. I don't even know where editor would come from. It's something that I'll need to see what your website looks like, because editor shouldn't even be there. But you just hold on.
Okay.
Thing is, with this page, with the website name, it doesn't impact anything. It doesn't impact anything at all. It's just aesthetic wise. I like to just remove that. But it's okay if you still have it. Okay.
Okay.
But in the meantime, do you want to continue with the task? And once you guys have added in the form, just give me a thumbs up so I know that we can continue. So as I said, I want you guys to add in a new container and add in a form. And then I'm going to quickly run through what we are going to be doing. So I just want to quickly explain what each one of these is, and then we will start to build it out the same way this has been built out. Yeah. So form fields. So as you can see, when you select the form, the panel, it says edit form. So we know we are editing a form. So what I'm going to do is quickly run through all of these and what the meaning is. And I explained this last week. We are not going to be filling all of this out. The reason being is because we do not have, this is not an active website for yourself or for a client, right? And it'll start to make sense later. So form fields is quite simple. It is these things here, right? The form here is name, then we have email, then we have message. Sebastian, no, I haven't sent the image. I will send that in due course. When you select one of the forms, it gives you these options here, right? So we have type. Type just shows you what is this going to be for, right? So let's say you have a date. It will give you an option to put dates in. You see, when I selected dates, this is now a date field. If I was to select file upload, you will see it will allow me to upload a file. So that just states what type of form this is. On this type of form, whereby it is literally just you entering information, it's simply going to be text, right? It will simply be text. Label. So label means a label for the form, right? So that would be here where my cursor is. So where it says name up here, email here, and message. Now, if you want to remove the label, then you can just select this toggle here. So now the label does not show. Realistically, you can, if you don't want the label to show, you can just remove it here, right? But I wouldn't recommend you to do that. The reason being is when someone completes a form, there is a section on your website here, right, that allows you to see all of your submissions. So if you go onto Elementor, I don't want you guys to do this, but I'm just showing you Elementor and then submissions. This is all of your form submissions. All of them will be here, right? So if someone was to submit a form and you click on it, it will literally say the person, when in the name label, they entered X. In the email label, they entered Y. So if you was to remove this, you won't be able to see those options on the submission form. So we always want to keep we always want to label. I feel like my English is not working today, guys. Anyways, so you always want to name the label. If you want to remove it so that it's not showing here, you just hit this toggle, right? Then we have a placeholder, quite self-explanatory. So it is this here, what you see, name, email, and message. Majority of the time, in the placeholder, you want to give a prompt, right? It's either you're prompting someone or you are assisting someone, right? You're either prompting or you're assisting someone. So let's say here, where it says message, the prompt that you might want to add is, you might want to add a prompt, something along the lines of, tell us about yourself, right? That's a bit of a prompt. Anyways, we then have required. So that means, is this a required field? Then we have column width. Column width is literally the width of each column. So every single one of these, right, name, email, message, you can literally change the width of each field. So let's say name, right? We can change it to 40%. So what that 40% means is within this container, the width of this container, so the bold container that we can see, the border, we are now changing it to 40% of that. Jack, I know you just came in. I want you to log in for me quickly. And I'm going to send in the chat the details for you to log in. I've just put that in the chat. And then I want you to go onto your homepage, and I want that homepage to be in a different tab, right? In the meantime, just to explain to you what we're doing, I'm currently going through the form option, right? I'm just showing you guys what each and every single element means. Are you guys with me? Give me a thumbs up. Is what I'm saying make sense? Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in a chat, or you can simply unmute yourself and let me know. Jack, once you've been able to log in, please let me know. Just put that in the chat so that I know. And once I'm done explaining this, I'm going to get you guys to instruct Jack how to remove the title of his website. So let's continue. So all of these fields will be the same, right? All of these fields are going to be the same. So if you go to email, all of the options there are the same. But let's say you want to add, I don't know, something else. All you'll need to do is just select add item, and then it's there, right? Required mark. I already briefly went through that. Is this field required, right? So what we're saying is hide it. So for instance, here, we have a required here for name. If I toggle that, that now means that yes, the name field is required. Now, if I was to go to email, I've already done that. And let's say message, we don't want it to be a required field, right? So these two are required. If I was to unhide it, you'll now see the asterisk has come up. Personally, I like to keep the asterisks there, because if you don't have the asterisks, let's say someone selects send, right? It's only when they select send that they will get a prompt saying you must do name, you must do email. So personally, I always like to have the required mark on show, right? So, and something else, form name. You always want to name your form, especially going back to this page here on the submissions. It will say here the name of the form. And remember what I was explaining to you guys last week? On a website, there'll be several forms. There might be subscribe to our email list form, right? There might be a contact us form. There might be a inquiry form, depending on the type of website that you are doing. So let's move on. We have the button, right? Now with the button, we have next steps, we have submit button. So as I said, there's different types of forms. Sometimes, like, let me give you an example. For my business, in fact, let me actually show you my business and exactly what I'm talking to you about. So let's go here. I'll give you an example of what these mean. So if it wants to load. So here, you've got with certain forms, remember, this is a form. This is a type of form, right? It just looks very different. We have a next button. So if I was to select next, it goes to the next. Now we see previous as well as next. So the previous will go back to step 1 and next will go to step 2. So what this is telling us here is, for the next button, what do we want it to say, right? For the previous button, what do we want it to say? So for instance, for the previous button, you might have go back instead of previous. For next, you might have proceed to the next step. Then we have send, of course, pretty self-explanatory. Majority of the time, you will keep it as send. So we're done with buttons. Actions after submitting. So in terms of these ones below, we are not going to be doing them. As I explained to you last time, this is not someone's website. This website is not connected to a subscription list or someone's email. If it was, what this is basically stating is once we collect a submission, it's going to go to email. This is literally an instruction tab. And then here goes into detail as to what collect submission means. So we've got here, collect submission, and then we've got collect submission here. So this will just allow us to explain a bit more information. Then we have email, and then we have email here. So it allows us to go into more detail in terms of the actions after someone selects submit. We then have collect submissions. So because we collected submissions here, that's why we've got this as a field. So what this is basically doing is the metadata. So for instance, user IP, user agent. We then have email. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, right? So for email, what this is basically stating is once someone completes this person is going to receive an email. So the email is going to go to this, and the email will say this as a subject, and this is going to be the message. So an example, right? For this, we are doing a contact us form. So let's say the business is called, let's say the business is Apple, right? What we would have is, thank you very much for that, Jack. Once I'm done explaining this, I'm going to get everyone in a class to show you a step that you missed, right? So going back to what I was stating, so with this email tab here, let's say we're making a website for Apple. Apple came to you and said, hi, I need a website done, right? What this tab is if someone was to complete this form, Apple will receive an email. So let's say it will say help at apple.com, example. An email will go to help at Apple. The subject will be, you have, in fact, let's say new inquiry. And again, I just want you guys to watch. And then the message that we've got here is all filled. So this is coding, quite self-explanatory. What it's saying in code is the message will include all of these fields. So let's say I put my name is Natalie and my email was XYZ, tell us about yourself. When I fill this out, help at Apple will receive an email. This is what is going to be the subject. And the message will be everything that is here, right? Now we've got here, who will the email be from? So we've got email at shapeways.io. That's because this website is registered to that, right? Then we've got name. So the name of the actual website. And then we've got reply to, quite self-explanatory. Then we've got some metadata over there as well. Any questions before we move on?
Would there be like an automated message from from the contact group or the contact page?
So when you say automated message, are you referring to, let's say I filled out this form, I will receive an automated message?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's something that you can
Okay.
set up separately. Yeah. That's something that can be set out separately. And more time, that can be done with the website. On the website, there'll be a page here where that can be done, or you can use a plugin. Now, the reason why a lot of people will use a plugin is because when it comes to the actual website, sometimes, let's say the email that you will receive will be quite basic, very basic. Let's say you want to zhuzh it up a little bit, use different colors, use some images, use XYZ, make it look a bit more modern, then you might want to add a plugin. But all of that is available on the website for you to do. So similar to when someone buys an item, when you buy an item from a website, you instantly receive your confirmation email. All of that can be done in the website.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Any more questions before we move on? Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask that. Why
Yeah.
would you want the email, the email address to be included in the email?
As in here?
Now, you know where it says like the messages, all fields.
Yeah.
Why would you want someone's email to be sent in an email?
So this is a contact form,
Yeah.
right? Let's say I'm a website designer. And in fact, this website is for a website designer. Ram is a website designer. So this is what his looks like. The reason why he's asking for your email is so that he can contact you.
But whose email is it being sent from when you're sending that whole message?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, like, whose email is it being sent from when you put the whole message in?
Whose email will this be sent from?
Yeah.
So once I put my email here, right? Once I put my email here, the website owner will receive an email stating Natalie has completed a form, and this is what was included within the form. Now, we can also set up me receiving an email stating, thank you for completing this. We will respond to you within 3 to 5 working days, as an example. Does that answer your question?
So it's not the person completing the form that sends the email, it's the website.
No. So I will enter my details here, and then the website will send the website owner an email saying Natalie just completed a form. This is what is included.
Oh yeah, now I get it.
Have I answered your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done email, and then we've done next steps. So let's say going back to like my website, right? Here we have steps. If we go to this website here, we don't have steps. But this is what we're referring to as steps. So sometimes with certain forms, there will be different steps required. So on this website, we don't have any steps. But what this is saying is, with the type, do we want there to be an icon? Do we want it to be a circle, etc.? So let's say shape, where it's a circle. This here will be a circle, as opposed to, let's say, arrows, right? Any questions so far? For the additional options, here is a form ID. We're going to go into IDs later on, but IDs is when you are allowed to give this particular section a name. So similar to how we have the form name here, but this part here is more for coding. It's more for coding, and we're going to go into that in a bit more detail when we do the header. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I was wondering, how do you change the size of the box?
And that's something that we're going to go into right now. So what I've done is I showed you guys how to change, let's say, the form, the actual form field size. Remember, we click on it, and then here, column width, we have that. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So we've already got this section here. Personally, I'm going to show you guys how I would do this. Now, I've said this several times. When it comes to Elementor, there's several ways to do the same thing, right? But this is how I personally would do it. So I've got my Flexbox here. What I would add is a container, right? And the reason why I'm adding a container is because if we go to here, it's like this is in a whole container here, right? All of this is a container. All of this on the side is still part of the container. But the actual form, you can see it's in another container. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you guys. Because this form, it's not going from width to width. So that shows me that it is not in the first container. It's not in this container. So with the second container, what I would do is simply change the width, right? That's what I would do. Give me a... So Jack, you said, should I start so I can catch up? We haven't done anything. We're now starting to do things. But later on in the session, I'm going to get someone to show you how to remove your website title from your website. At the top, you'll probably see Jack's website. I'm going to get someone to show you how to remove that. But is that okay with you, Jack? So, does what I said make sense? Give me a thumbs up if what I said makes sense in relation to the containers. If you want me to repeat it, let me know. I'm more than happy to go through it again. In fact, I'm going to go through it again. So, we've established that contact us up until here is one container, right? We've got that here, right? Now, this is another container. If this form was in the first container, remember the first container here would go from width to width, right? If it was in that, this form, there would be no space on the sides. So this shows me that we've got one container, which is from width to width. Inside that container, we have another container that is slightly smaller, right? Which is this yellow rectangle. And then inside that, we have a form. So what I've done is I've got the container, the main container. Inside the main container, I've just decreased the width a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just maybe the width, I'm just going to make it a little bit more smaller, right? So all I've done is I've added another container inside the first container. And we know it's a container. How do I know that this is a container? Put the answer in the chat, or you can simply unmute yourself. The question.
Square.
Do you want to repeat yourself? Sorry.
The grey square.
Perfect. A grey square, right? So that shows us that that is a container inside a container. If you just had one container, it will be purple. So what I'm going to do is with the first container, right? The one with the purple border, I'm literally going to change the justify content. Now, which one do you guys think I should select?
Center.
Oh, let me do here. Why is this not working? Sorry, it should be a line item. Sorry, a line item, right? So what that is saying is it's going to be in the center. So what we're doing is whatever's inside this container, we are aligning everything inside the center. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to give you guys about 1 minute, and I want you guys to do what I've done here. Don't add in the form just yet. I just want you to create a container inside the container, change the width, and align the inside the container. Once you're done with that, give me a thumbs up. In fact, put done in the chat. Put done in the chat once we are done. Put done in the chat once we are done. I think we had a question. So Mohammed Abdulaziz said, Ofochi, good one. So it's fairly similar, right? It is fairly similar, but exactly what Ofochi said. Plus, when it comes to justify content, you see that there's a lot more options, but Ofochi just answered that for you. So align items, that would probably be good if, let's say, we have something similar to this, right? Where we have inside one container, we have two side by side, because then we could just easily align things towards one end. Whilst when it comes to justify content, it gives you a lot more options. So let's say you want to align something. If it's not in align items, just check justify content, right? So are we all done? So we've got the container. We've changed the alignment of the form. If you haven't already, please put done in the chat because not many of you have done so. I think we're still waiting for a few more of you. So just to confirm what to do, I want you to add in a container, right? A main container. Inside the main container, I want another container, right? And that other container, we're going to decrease the width. Once we've decreased the width, we're going to align that inner container to the center. Give me a done in the chat once you are done. Just waiting for a few more of you. Perfect. Now we're going to add in the form, right? Now we're going to add in the form. And now you can see, remember what we done before? The form was literally width to width, right? It was literally width to width. But now we've decreased it a bit. So in essence, this is what your form should look like. As I mentioned to you guys before, because this is not a website for someone and this is just kind of like a demo website, a practice website for you guys, we don't need to do anything further here, right? We may have needed to change the form details, but in this case, we don't need to because we've got name, email, and message. Here is name, email, message. What I do want you guys to do is to change the form name and change it to contact us, right? And then required, I want you guys to select required for name and email. Name and email, give us a required. And then I want the labels to show that this is required. And one thing that you'll notice is for his form, we do have labels on show, right? So we're just going to leave it as is. For the buttons, we've got a small button, right? So for the size, let us, in fact, it's only going to change the width. So I think we'll probably need a large button. And remember, what has happened is the padding inside the button changes. Now we go to styling, right? Is everyone still with me? We're going to styling. Now, this is where it gets a lot more interesting. And for this section, I want you guys to be able to, I don't want you guys to all do this in accordance to, for instance, this. I want you all to have some sort of freedom as to how you want this to look like, right? So for instance, you might want a bit of a border or something like that. But I'm just going to show you, I'm going to design mine. And as I'm designing it, I'm going to go through a lot of what these things mean if we haven't heard it already. So column gap, it is quite explanatory, but in this case, we don't really have columns, right? We just have this. There's no column, hence why when you're moving it, it doesn't move, right? When it goes to rows, these are our rows here, right? Our rows are over here. So if we were to space it out, if we were to increase this, you'll see that the space is increasing. So what I'm going to do is just do this, right? Label. What this spacing means is the space between the label and the field. So if I was to do this, you'll now start to see that there is a little bit of a space coming there. When it's like this, it doesn't look very nice, right? But remember, when it comes to websites, we want it to look as sleek as possible. Then we've got text color, mark color, typography, all simple things. HTML field, we don't need anything there. right? So I want to give you guys the freedom to do as you please with this. So form, I'm going to leave that. Field. So this is the actual field here. Personally, I don't want to change much of the border, background color, and things of that nature. In fact, you know what? Let me change this slightly to just a little bit of a gray, right? A little bit of a gray. And what I'm going to do, text color, we can keep it as is. Border color, I think that's fine. Border width. So the border that we have per the field, what we're saying is to change the width. Let's see. You can see that it's increasing. I do not want that. So I'm just going to keep it at, in fact, I'm going to do it as a 0 because I think it looks a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, I think it looks a lot more sleeker. The next thing I'm going to do is border radius. So what is border radius again? Does anyone want to let me know or put it in the chat? What is border radius?
Is it basically the edges of the border, so you can make it a lot rounder?
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So it's referring to the roundness of the edges. So let's say if I was to increase it, you can see all of them are increasing. And remember, when it comes to things like radius, be wary of your linking values together. We've already spoken about that, so I'm not going to go into it in a bit more detail. But one thing I want to show you is this, right? If I unlink it, I want to show you, let's say, the right, right? You can see that in itself is a little bit of a design, right? And I've literally just changed the radius for the right. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm a simple girl. So what I'm going to do is just link the values back together, and then I'm just going to round it a little bit, right? I remember, guys, one thing I always say is when you are styling things, I recommend you to change a few things and then hit the panel, because this is what it will actually look like, right? This is what the website will actually look like. When you've got the panel there, sometimes it's quite hard to see, especially when it comes to the width, right? Then we've got button. Button, what I want is someone to show me how to do this. So I'm going to give you guys about, what's the time now? I'm going to give you 5 minutes up until 7:01. And once we're done, I want just a few of you to share your screen, right? And then I'm going to pick one of you to show us how you done your button. Now, remember, we want this to be aesthetically pleasing, right? So your button, the color should be similar to the above. Now, remember, we've spoken about styling for the button, and we also discussed how to replicate it. So let's see if you guys remember that. But I will give you up until 7 o'clock to get that done. Sorry, so I've just seen a few questions in the chat. So Jack said, is this the first container or the bigger container, or is this the smaller container inside the bigger one where we place the widget? So Jack, in relation to what you said, it is the latter. So we've got the main container, which I'm clicking on right now, right? Remember, we just literally added a flex box, right? That had a downward direction. And then what we done is we added in a container. So I'm having trouble putting the small container in the big one. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you how to do this. So we've got the main container, which is this purple one here, right? So I'm going to show you again if you are struggling. So what we're going to do is just do a downward direction. Now we've got the main container. the main container literally goes from width to width. The reason why you can't see it right now is because there was nothing inside, so you don't see it, right? So this main container goes from width to width. If you look here, you can see that the actual form does not go from width to width. So that indicates there is another container that is of a smaller size, right? So what I'm going to do is to add in another container inside the main container. To do that, we press plus, and then we're gonna drag in the container. So now we have a big container, and then we have a smaller container inside the big one. But if you look here, this container that the form's in, the width is not width to width, hence why we added in this container. So now we need to decrease the width, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the second container, and then here on the panel, you will be able to change the width, right? You can change the width. But what you'll notice is the smaller container is not aligned into the middle. This has an alignment of left. So in order for us to align it into the center, if you see align items over here, I've just highlighted it, we're going to select center. Oops. In fact, bear with, we will select center. Now remember, we have to align the bigger container. The bigger container is what needs to be aligned, and it needs to be aligned is because what we are saying, what this part here is saying is everything inside the container has this alignment. Now remember, this container, the smaller container, is inside the bigger one. That's why we need to align the bigger one. Does that make sense? Sebastian and Jack, give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay. Jack, you said all right. I'm assuming that's all right. Thank you. So Mohammed Abdulaziz, you said Mohammed Abdulaziz, you said, could you repeat how to remove the black lining? Mohammed, do you mind giving me a bit more information? What black lining are you referring to? Are you referring to the fields? Okay, so Mohammed Abdulaziz said he's figured it out. So Temi said, I did something, so it was loading for a long time. I reloaded, so I had to align again, but it wasn't working, so I had to use margin settings. You can use margin settings, right? You can absolutely use margin settings. So what I was explaining to you guys before is when it comes to Elementor, there are several ways to do everything, right? So this is a way, and what you done, Temi, is another way. Remember, guys, margin is everything outside of the border. So as opposed to adding another container inside another container, right? You could have simply added margin on the left and the right. So that is also another way, and it doesn't affect it, Temi, as well. So that's a very good way for you to have figured it out as well. So in terms of if you forgot what the task was, give me a done in the chat if you guys are done. And as I said, for the form, it doesn't have to look exactly like mine, right? Remember, if you go to content, you can change the width of every single form. So for instance, if I select a name and I do 50% and then email and I also do 50%, it could look like this, right? Let me do a 40. And then let me do a 40 here as well. In fact, no, that doesn't work. So let's just keep it to 100. So it looks like none of you are done. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes. Put done in the chat once you are done. So in terms of what you guys are doing, you are styling the form, styling the field, and styling the button, right? Please put done in the chat once you are done. So to confirm, we are styling the form, the field, and the button. Thank you for that, Precious. So Jack and Precious are done. Please let me know once you guys are done. Please put done in the chat if you are done. Okay, so it looks like a lot of us are done. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people done. I'm just gonna wait for a few more of you guys to be done, and then we will continue. Still waiting for a few more. Tammy, can you let me know if you are done, please? Oh, you just did. So, Tammy, what I want you to do is to share your screen and show us yours. The reason why I'm picking you is because you done this a different way, right? So as we discussed before, as opposed to adding a second container, he had one container and changed the margin, I believe.
No, I did it the other way in the end.
Oh, okay. All right, no worries. Well, you can still show your work.
Yeah. I haven't actually finished.
Okay, no worries. So I'll give you a few more minutes. Does anyone else want to share their work with us? Anyone else want to nominate themselves to share their work? Share what their form looks like? Okay, let me pick someone then. Ali, do you want to show us your work? Do you want to share your screen and show us your work? I'm gonna stop sharing. Perfect. So amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, do you want to click the panel for me so it removes the panel? Okay. So looking at Ali's work, right? What has he not done? So Mohammed Abdulaziz said alignment, perfect. So what I want you guys to do is to work with him to do that, right? So how do we change the alignment? What I want you to do is to click the panel and then everyone can show you how to do the alignment. So I want you guys to talk and see how you've done that. Ali, do you want to unmute yourself? Guys, I want you all to contribute and help him. Okay. So I'm assuming you said your port is broken, so you won't be able to. Okay, no worries. As long as you can hear us, that's great. So, Ali, I want you to select both containers for me. Okay. Can you guys help him?
I was gonna say you could, you know where the align items is, but it looks like it's really in the center.
Right. So, Ali, what I want you to do, you see where it says width? Pull it on full for me. Now, do the panel. Let me see if that's gone to full. Okay. I want you to hit the panel again. And you see the form hover over your... Okay, you was just there. Right. Now let's see. All right. So let's just bring that back up. Now, select the main container for me. And guys, I'm literally giving him instructions so that you guys can help him. The width, let's increase that. In fact, no, let's not increase that. For the justify content, do the second one for me. Okay. So guys, what is a way that we can fix this? Ali, I want you to hit your panel so people can see what your work looks like. And that's what his work looks like. So we need it a bit more in the middle. Do you guys remember what we were doing last week? And it's already been mentioned already. Right. Right. So perfect. Perfect. Bear with me. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. Hit the panel for me. So Ali forgot to do something. Perfect. But what I want you to do is click it again. Put it to 0. Perfect. Hit it again. Perfect. Hit the panel for me. Put it on 0. Go to the left and change the left one. Now let's check. So we're going to continue. Ali, hit the panel for me. So what you're doing, I want you to put everything on 0, right? Currently, what is he adding a margin to? What is he currently adding the margin to?
Is it the
Yeah,
bigger container?
exactly. We want to add exactly. Perfect, Ali. We want to add it to the actual form, right? Hit the panel for me. Now, when you hover over the form, I want you to go to the form, right? Hit the pencil. I want you to delete the form. I want you to delete the container. Hold on. How many containers do you have in there? Delete that container for me. This container, what I want you to do is click the 6 dots and then go to layout. Pull it on 100, so the width. Yeah? Now, I want you to start again. So, just a quick one, Ali. With the second container, untick align item. Yep, untick that. Cool. Now, with the second container, I want you to change the width. Delete the form, because what you want to do is change the width before you put the form in. Yeah? So the form, perfect. Okay, so where was we? I'm trying to see if I can. Normally there's a way whereby I can actually edit your stuff, but it seems like I can't. So, Ali, we're gonna have to start again because I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. So delete that container, right? Now add in a new container. And I want all of you guys to watch what we're doing, right? So guys, what did I say the first step was? So we've added in a container. What do we do now? Yeah.
Add another container,
Okay.
I think.
So before we add in the other container, we do what Ali's just done. Perfect. Then we add in another container. Perfect. Perfect. You don't need to align the yeah, take that out. And then perfect. 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 So that's fixed. So remember, we're dealing with tech here, right? Sometimes there's going to be technical issues. So when this happens, you can simply just delete it and start again. Maybe then it will work. What we just done, we had to delete this maybe about twice before it actually worked. And that's fine. Sometimes that happens. So Ali, before I leave you to style your form, there's something that I want Ali to do. I want you guys to look at his page. There's a widget that I want him to add onto somewhere, a few places on his page. I want you guys to tell me what it is. So Ali, hit the panel for me. Can you guys guess what it is I'm talking about?
Divider.
Not the divider. You're getting, I think I know what you're talking about, but maybe you've used the wrong widget
Spacer.
name. Perfect. Right. And where do we want to add the spacer? Ali, if you want, you can move your cursor to those places. Yep. Yep. Perfect. So what I would do, right, if I was you, You see each one of those images, I would add a spacer in between, and you want to make sure the spacer is the same size. Yeah, there's a good place as well. That's one place. And also in between the actual laptops. Very good. Yeah. That's another place. So I would add it there. Yeah. I would add another one on top of contact. So what you can do is duplicate the ones that you already have on the page. Perfect. Right. Now hit the panel for me. That looks a lot better, right? What you can do is the one in between the form and the text editor, you can maybe decrease the size a little bit, maybe by about 10 or so. Yeah. Looks better to me. And then I will add a spacer in between the two laptops. So if you scroll up, in between every single one of the laptops, going downwards, going vertically. So you can duplicate that and then you can drag it up. Yeah, perfect. And then hit the spacer for me once you're done with that. You see that looks a lot better. So what I want you to do is to add the spacers all the way up for all of the laptops, right? And then I also want you to style your form. So you can stop sharing your screen now. Jack, you said, I have a question. Why is mine centered without changing the margin? Jack, do you want to share your screen? Jack, do you want to share your screen? It's fine. I figured it out. Okay, perfect. So we don't have time because we were helping Ali to show everyone's work, but I haven't done mine. I haven't done my button. So I want us to work as a team, right, to do my button. So I want all of you to chip in and I want some help. So I want my button to look like this. And notice there's a hover, right? And I don't think we've really focused on hovers just yet. So I'm going to also show you guys how to do this. Or if one of you want to show me how to do it, it's perfectly fine. So we've got my button here. I've got it here. Tell me what to do if I want it to look like this. What's the first thing I need to do? And again, we're going downwards on this.
Can't see your screen. Sorry.
You can't see. Oh. Share. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. So what exactly do I need to do so that my button looks a bit like this? What do I need to do? So I want my button to look like this. Let's start with position. Where am I going to put it?
To the right.
Perfect. So right now it's stretched, right? So that means in the container that it's in, the button is currently stretched from left to right. So if I do to the right, you see that it changes there. Typography, I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. We've done that 1 million times. So what I'm going to do, similar to what we've done before, simply to be quick, copy, and then we can paste out if that wants to work. Okay, so it changed a little bit. I'm not too sure if you saw a little bit of here changed, but sometimes you won't be able to paste style, especially if the button is inside a form. Or let's say the button is somewhere like this, right? You won't be able to paste down all the time, depending on what editing platform you're using. So I'm gonna quickly do the button typography just so that we don't spend too much time on it. Can someone tell me the hex code? What is the hex code for the button? What is the hex code for this button?
6C.
Okay. So we've got 60
2BE6.
2BE6. Perfect. What I'm gonna do is just slightly increase it. Extra bold, I think that's the same. That looks good to me. The next thing I want to do is to add a hover. Now, this is something that we haven't necessarily spoken about. So when it comes to the edit, once we hover over, that's where the edit comes. So we now need to select hover over here. And then where it says animation, that's where we add in an animation. So let's say post grow. You see now it's changing, right? Now here is transition duration. You can see it kind of speeds up a little bit, right? You can see it's a lot slower now. But if I was to do it all the way here, it's a bit different. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I think I'm gonna do pulse shrink. Nope, that's a bit too much. Let us do, is there a shake? You know what, let's just leave it at this. Let's just do it at shrink, right? So this is our form completed, right? This is our form completed. Now let's say, if we're looking at this, right, you can see he's added a bit of a background here. If he's added in a bit of a background, and now we want to, in fact, let me do it, right? I think it looks a lot nicer this way. But let's say the container, similar to what he's done, he's added a bit of a background here. Let's just say for now, we're gonna go for gray, right? If I wanna add a background to the form, what do I do? How would I do that?
Advanced.
Pardon?
You go to the form, edit form section.
Yeah.
And I think under advanced,
Okay.
you go down to border and
To
background.
background, okay. Then I can change the color here.
And then if you want to change the outside, you can go to border. Because on the round website it's white, then the answer space is grey.
Right. So now we've added in a little bit of a border. So personally, this is not my aesthetic. This is not my style. So I'm just gonna remove it. And I just literally selected a back button. But let me see. Let's say I want to keep this border, but let me see what it'll look like against a white background. For me, personally, that doesn't look nice. So to remove it, still under, oh, on the wrong one. Under border, I'm just gonna click none, right? Now, if we go to style, it's not here. So if there's anything that you want to do, if there's anything that you, in fact, it is here, that this is a different way that you can do it. But this one here, it is literally for the actual field. So it's for this part here. So if I was to change it up, field, I can change the form field colors, right? But in terms of the actual form, it should be here. But if it's not here, always just click on advanced and you'll probably find it there, right? So the next thing I want to do is message. So once you select submit, right, there will be a message coming up saying, hi, thank you for submitting your request. It will take 2 to 3 working days. This is where you will edit your message. When it comes to the steps, going back to what my website looks like, this is where you will have your steps. We do not have a stepped form, so we don't need to do anything here. But for now, this is what my form looks like. Your guys, as I said, you guys could have done this how you pleased. But just give me a thumbs up if that was okay with you. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up if we're good to go. If you have any questions, now is the perfect time to ask.
And I was gonna add,
Mm-hmm.
to make the border thicker,
Yeah.
would you not go to border settings again, and then use border width
Exactly.
and border radius?
Exactly. Right. So let me show you something here. Right now that I've got no border, this is what it looks like, right? You've only got border radius. If I was to select solid, that means a solid line. Now we have border width, and we went through this before. You can now change it up, right? I could also have a dotted border, right? So this is what my form looks like. Sebastian said, how do you do the alignment? Sebastian, do you want to share your screen? Because what are you talking about? Alignment for what? Do you want to share your screen? So do you want to share your screen, Sebastian? Sebastian, do you want to share your screen?
Is my screen sharing or?
Yep, your screen sharing.
I can't seem to see it on my end.
You
Oh, I
can't.
know, there it is.
Yeah?
I can see it there. I can see it.
Perfect.
Okay. So
This looks really good. So do you want to put hit your panel for me? So your panel goes.
I haven't really changed anything though.
So what are you referring to when you discuss alignment?
So when you talk, so firstly, how do you so when you talk about I'm not too sure. But when it talk about the uh one
So
sec.
you want to change the alignment. What alignment? So currently it's centered, right? So what here do you want to change the alignment of? Because it looks aligned to me. The only thing is, looking at Sebastian's work, what has he done that is different to us? I want you to just stay there, Sebastian. Let me know in the chat or simply unmute yourself. What is one thing that Sebastian has done? Looking at his work, where it is, you'll be able to spot it.
Is it it looks like there's 3 containers. I think
Say that a bit more
like there's one
confidently.
main container. It's like there's one big container and then there's 2 more containers. And then the
Perfect.
3rd container, that's where his form is.
Perfect. right? So Sebastian, what you've done is you've got the big container, right? Which is where your
Mhm.
cursor currently is. Then
Yeah.
inside that container, you've added another container. Bring your cursor down to the second
Yeah.
container.
This
Yeah.
one here. Well, no,
And
this
then
one here.
exactly. So you've got 3. I don't want you to delete it because if you delete it, whatever's inside will be removed, right? So as of right
Mhm.
now, it looks fine. But in terms of coding wise, it's a bit messy. You don't need all of them, right?
Okay.
So this form could have simply just gone inside the second container. Make sense?
Yeah.
But you can
Okay.
leave it as is. You can leave it as is. Let's say you wanted to add in text, right? And with the text, you wanted it to be a different direction. That's when you might have several different containers. So for instance, inside the second container where you currently are, let's say you wanted some text on the side in the middle container. Then you could have added another container with the form, so it's left and right, right? So what exactly do you need help with, Sebastian? Or are you okay? Good to go.
I was just no, it was just to do with the alignment of like so you know so one thing was that it was just to do with like you know how you got the button on this side here.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Okay. I don't
Uh,
know. You guys in the chat, you need to help us out. I honestly don't know. So guys in the chat, I want you to help Sebastian. How did we get the button to the right?
If you go on buttons, wait,
yeah.
yeah.
It shows the position.
Where's the position? Wait,
Yep, you're on the
style,
right
sorry,
track.
style. Go to
Perfect.
style
Huh.
at the top. And then yeah, and then buttons. Where buttons is.
Yes.
Yeah, and then if you go on where position is, the third
Yeah.
one, if you click that one, it should take it to the right. Oh, um,
Pull it on stretch for me.
press the
So
middle
the
again.
last one.
Press the middle one. I don't know. Oh.
Okay. So Sebastian, what I want you to do with your form, I want you to copy your form.
Mm-hmm.
Copy it.
Yes.
And then I want you to delete the container that it's in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Cool.
then
Now with this container, I want you to, yep, hit that button for me. Go to layout. Okay. Now we'll go to the first container.
how do I do that?
You tell me.
Just oh wait, hang on. Do
To the first container.
I,
How does he go to the first container? The one with the purple banner, guys. Help him out.
oh, is that one? Oh, okay.
So the one that's the full width container. Yep, so you're on it. Where it says content width, I want you to select full width.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Now, with the second container, I want you to select that.
Yeah.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to change the width, right? And we're going to change it so that it's smaller. So I want you to decrease, decrease. No, hold on. Bear with me. Pause for me. Which container are you changing the width of? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Increase the width a little bit for me. Maybe up to 60. Okay, that's fine. Now I want you to make sure that the first container is aligned to the center.
Okay.
You're nearly there? Perfect.
Here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what we've just done is everything that is in the first container, we've just aligned it to the center. Now, Sebastian, I want you to take over. So we're adding the form. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Perfect.
In here. And then that's it, right?
What I want you to do is hit the panel for me so you can see what it looks like. Scroll up for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
your
just
website
add a background here.
Oh, that's lovely. Scroll down for me. Okay. Okay, so now you can style your form as you please. But
Okay.
let me see if this is going to work. So we copied your previous form, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to, with the second container, in fact, delete this form. I forgot that we actually copied that. So delete this form.
So hit the pencil, right?
Yeah, delete it.
Okay.
And let's still see if the copied form that we done before is still there. Delete. And then
Yeah.
I want you to right click where you're at. No, I want you to right click inside.
Oh, inside here.
Yeah. And then paste. Looks good to me.
Mm-hmm.
So do you understand what we done? When you done your previous one, you had three containers, but your actual form was perfect. So what we done is we just removed the third container.
Okay.
If you hit the panel for me, that looks good. The only thing is, I would say maybe your spacing or maybe your margins is too high. So hit the panel for me. And
There's a
let's
spacer
remove,
there.
yeah, let's remove that. Looks a lot better. Yeah. Now,
Mm-hmm.
with the button, we want to make it aligned to the right. So show me how to do that. Perfect. Perfect.
So on here.
Amazing. Now, where do we go?
Here.
Perfect.
Don't know why it's
I don't know
still
why it's
doing.
not working. Do you know what? Do it to the left. In fact, you can leave it like that. You can leave it like that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks good enough for me. Remember,
Okay.
as I said, your form doesn't have to look the exact same as what Ram done. I wanted you guys to have some sort of creative direction. But what I do want you to do is to change the color. So it's currently green. I want you to change it to the hex code, and the hex code is in the chat. I'm just going to pull it back in the chat so you can just copy it. Perfect. That looks good to me. Thank you very much, Sebastian. Was that okay? Was that easy? Was that hard?
It was a little bit. It was all right. It's
It was
just
okay.
yeah.
Good. It's everything's a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
Everything's a learning curve. I want all of you guys to remember, now this is your first website. It's not supposed to be very, very easy, right? If it's easy, good on you. But it's not supposed to be easy because we're learning something new. And I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have tech experience or website designing experience. So this is supposed to be a bit tricky. So if you find this tricky, I don't want you guys to shy away. I'm here teaching you for a reason. You're not learning by yourself, right? So if you have any questions, I need you to ask them. No question is a stupid question, right? So we have got about 45 minutes left. I want us to go on a break up until, let's say, 7, in fact, 8 o'clock, 13-minute break quickly, and then we will continue. So we're going to go on a 13-minute break up until 8 o'clock. And once you're back at 8, you know what to put in the chat. Put a done in the chat, and then we will continue. So Mohammed Abdulaziz said, I've got a question after the break. Mohammed, do you want to ask your question right now?
How do you add like a border around the form?
Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Okay. Like for this form,
Yeah.
border so it's similar to the website, like this white bar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to do it.
You want it to be white?
Like it doesn't matter about the color, but like as long as it's like border,
There's
basically.
a form. Okay, a border. So I don't know if you was listening before, but I mentioned if it's not in style, go to advanced. So someone in the chat, I'm not exactly sure who it was, I forgot. They showed us how to do it. So I want you to go to advanced, and I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to watch you do it. I'm here. Perfect. So you're going to play with both of those. Yeah? Perfect. Perfect.
Oh. And then
Yeah. No. We want to link it. The only reason why we're linking it is so that all of them change at the same time. Yeah?
how do you make it so it's like more distant?
So it's more distant.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Do the background first.
Uh
Do you want it to be a gradient or a color? Yeah? You're about to add an image. Perfect. Once you're done choosing a color, let me know.
okay.
Cool. So
I think this color's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
So scroll back up to me to the styling. Where it says form, column, gaps, I want you to start playing with that. And rows. I want you to play with that. And rows as well. For the label, you can move that around. For the column, it's not changing because there's not any.
Oh. Did he create like a separate container here?
Exactly. I was just about to get into that. So this is one way. Go back for me. This is one way you can do it, right? But let's say you want there to be spacing. What I would do if I was you is remove the background color on that. And the border. For the border type as well. Perfect. Okay, background. You can literally click. Go to color. And then you see the arrow that is like a rotate arrow. Click that for me. So that basically removes it. Now, remember, we put this inside a container.
Yeah.
So now what you can do with your container is click on the container. Now you can style the container.
Okay.
So this is why we put it inside this container. so that we can now begin to style it. So now, right,
Oh,
do you
okay.
get it?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave you now. I'm gonna leave you to do what you want to do here, and I'm gonna watch you style. I remember anytime you're styling, keep on hitting the panel just so that you're able to see what exactly you're doing, yeah?
Okay.
So now you can see what it actually looks like.
Yeah. Um,
So you can stop sharing your screen now.
okay.
Natalie, you know the background for the
Yep, the
she went.
background of
For the banner, the one that you have is, are you able to send it? Because I have the cloudy one, but I don't really like that one anymore.
Okay, let me send it in
Thank you.
chat. Bear with me. Tammy, bear with me. Hold on, guys. So Precious, I am just grabbing that for you. Bear with. And I think a few of you actually asked for that. I think it's this one. No, that's the cloud one. And what I'm also going to do, guys, put down in the chat if you are back, by the way. In the meantime, I'm going to put this one in the chat. I think that's the one that I used. Yeah, that should be the one that I used. And Temi, I was wondering how I can make the text box bigger. Please, can I have your help? Temi, do you want to share your screen? And to everyone that was asking me for the background, I have put it in the chat. Whilst Temi is getting ready to share his screen, I'm also going to put a website inside the chat. Now, this is where you can get photos that do not belong to anyone. So then they don't have any copyright. So if you're doing websites, this is the best place for you to get your images. This looks amazing to me.
Yeah, hello.
Hiya.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm wondering how I can make the enter your name part bigger.
How to make that bigger. Okay. So I'm not too sure if that is something that you can do,
It's
but
extra largest, the largest I can
so
give you.
are you referring to the actual field or the text inside the field?
The actual field.
Okay, so that's it. Where you were, where it says input size, that's as high as it can go.
Oh.
But when it comes to certain fields, it will change. So for instance, you see enter your name, enter your message, sorry, at the bottom right of that rectangle.
Yeah. But there was a place where I could change the rows.
Yeah, but
I
it
can't
doesn't.
I
So
can't
go
find
to
it.
style and it's there at the top where it says form, right? But that's gaps. So the gaps in between. It doesn't change the actual field size.
Oh. 'Cause
Yeah?
I saw it once, but I couldn't find it again. It said actually rows, like enter your message had like 4 rows, then enter your name had 1.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Can't
I
find it.
understand what you're saying. So select, let's say you want to do name, go to name, where it says column width. So you wanted to change the width, not necessarily the size, just the width. Go to, yeah. And then currently it's on 100. So if you change it to, let's say you do 50, this is what you're referring to, yeah?
No, I don't think it was that.
So
I think it's fine.
yeah. So in terms of the actual field, if you want the field to be bigger, it's a form, right? This is the basic version of Elementor. And this is what I was referring to you guys with when I was talking about plugins. So Elementor is Elementor allows you to edit your website design, right? But if you want to take it up a notch, perhaps there's certain things that you want to do that you're unable to do with Elementor. That's when you need to include plugins. And remember, I told you, plugins is like an app, right? It's like you are adding an app to your website that will allow you to do certain things.
It was here where it said rows. It doesn't say it for email and name.
Right, because this is just the message tab.
Oh,
Because here in the message tab, people can type a message out to you. So that's why it's in the message tab. But when it comes to the remaining, it won't be there. Because
okay.
the message is a free-for-all. You can write whatever you want. Someone can write you a book if they want. And another thing, if you go to where it says enter your message, that container, you will see at the bottom right, there's a few lines. There's 2 lines. Yeah? You can change that up and down as well.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
But when it comes to the other rows, you can't do it. In terms of the size, it is a standard size, apart from you being able to change the width. And there's also this input size button just on the left at the bottom of the panel where you can see right now. That's the highest and the lowest that it can go. If you want anything other than that, you will need to download a plugin. So, guys, do you mind stop sharing your screen, please? And I am going to share my screen. Bear with me. And I want all of you guys to just hit publish for me. So we're saving our work as we go along. Remember, always click publish. Always click publish. Yeah? So let me share my screen. So this is my website, right? We all should have something that looks a little bit like this. Honestly, I think we've done a great job, right? Now, this is the homepage done. This is the homepage done. The only thing we need to do on the homepage is add our banner. Sorry, not our banner, our header, which is this section here when my cursor's moving, right? And then the footer. That's the only thing we need to do on the actual homepage. Other than that, everything is done. Now,
what about the sidebar and other stuff like that?
So this here and this here is all plugins.
Ah, okay.
Remember what I was talking to you guys about? The apps that you have on your website that allows you to do certain things. These are all plugins, right?
Okay.
So we are done when it comes to the homepage, apart from the footer and the header. The footer and header, regardless of wherever you go, you will be able to see your footer and your header on the website. Now, there's another thing that I don't know if you guys have noticed. When you select a project, it now goes to the project page. So what I'm going to do is right now, it is 8:07. I'm going to give you guys about 20 minutes and I want you to create this page. Yeah? So this is a separate page on the website. Before we do that, what I want us to do is what we usually do. Go through the website and I want us to name the different widgets that you see. So this first widget, what would this be? And please call out your answers, unmute yourself and call out your answers. Alternatively, you can put it in the chat. So what would this widget be? A slide, perfect. Then we've got what here? What is this?
Image.
Perfect. Now, in terms of getting this actual image, all you need to do is right click, save image as, and you guys know what to do from there. Yeah. Then we've got what?
Heading.
Perfect. Then we've got our
Text editor.
Cool. Then we've got a,
Heading.
Heading.
then we've got,
Buttons.
Button.
then we've got what?
Heading.
Head.
And then we've got what here?
Buttons.
And what's on the buttons?
Hyperlink.
A hyperlink. And there's also what on the buttons? When I click on the hover, what happens?
Oh,
Wobbles.
We've got an effect. Now, looking at the sides here, what has been added here on the left and on the right? A spacer. What else has been added here? Here. What is this? What is the space here? We've done this several times. It's not a spacer, but it could be a spacer. And it-
margin.
Perfect. So here, you see how, for instance, this is full width. You can see your slide is full width. Whilst with these parts here, you can see that the person has played with their margin and their padding. Yeah? So when it comes to this section here, from here going downwards, that's when you're going to want to start playing with your margin and your padding. Right? When it comes to this part here, similar to what we've done before, how did they obtain this? We've got these going to one side, this going downwards. What has been done here? Does someone quickly want to let me know what's been done there?
Separate container
Mm-hmm.
with wrap.
Perfect. And what else? Separate containers. What have we done to the containers? You said we've added a wrap. Pardon?
Wait. Horizontal. Wait.
Yep.
Horizontal. That
Exactly. So what did we do?
I forgot how it's done, but I could probably do it again if I go back to it.
So what's the technical term? So you said horizontal. What's the technical term?
Flexbox.
Yep, we've added a flex box.
They changed the direction.
Perfect. Perfect. So you guys have, all of you guys have got it right. I just wanted a bit more, right? So we changed the direction. Remember, the direction is different. This is on top of this. But in terms of the buttons, remember, these buttons are individual widgets. They're individual widgets. Do not look at them as one. They're individual. So this is on top of this, but all of these widgets go side to side. So as you guys have mentioned, we added in a container and then we changed the direction. Remember, this part here and this part is the same, right? The direction is the same. The buttons is the same. The widgets is the same. So once we've done here, you can literally duplicate and then just change it up, right? I want you guys to start utilizing things like copying the style. Example, once you've done this header, you can literally copy it, right? And then when it comes to this header and this header, you can paste the style of this. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, perfect. When it comes to these, remember what we done? We created one, we done the styling of one, and then we duplicated it. Do not forget, when it comes to this container, we need to add a wrap, right? So, Jack, what we are doing is I want you to create a completely new page. We're done with the homepage. The homepage is done. Yeah? Homepage, we've completed it. We are now creating a completely new page. So this is Ram's website, right? Which looks exactly like mine, might I add. So if we select one of these portfolios, he's showcasing a portfolio, it comes onto this page. So I want us to create this page, yeah? So I'm going to give you and today we're probably going to finish 10 minutes later, but I'm going to give you guys up until 8:30, and I want you to start creating. Before we do that, I want all of us to work together to show me how to create a new page, yeah? So in this case, I want all of us to be doing the dope folio page, and I'm gonna duplicate, I'm gonna copy the page inside the chat. I want you guys to shout out to me, how do I create a new page? Because remember, we're creating a new page. So what do? I'm on the home,
Add
in
new
the
page.
dashboard, add new page, perfect. In this case, we're doing a
Open new tab.
portfolio. So I'm gonna name it Dopefolio, right? Then what do?
Edit with Elemental.
Edit with Elementor, yeah.
Edit with Elementor. No, we don't click edit with Elementor.
Publish.
Nope. Before that, you're all right, but we're missing something. What do we do before that? What do we do before publish?
You have to change the full width somewhere.
Perfect. How do we do that?
I think you go to the 3 dots.
So it's here somewhere.
Is it where template is?
Perfect. I know we've done that a very long time ago. So that's why I wanted to do this with you guys. So template, Elementor full width, right? And then we're going to hit publish. Publish saves the page. And then we will hit edit with Elementor. I'm going to repeat that. So on the page setting, on the page, that sounds a bit weird. But on the page, on the dashboard, you select add new page. You get to here. We're then going to change the name of the page. We're going to change the width. So where it says template, we're going to hit Elementor full width. Then we're going to hit publish. That saves the page. Then we're going to hit edit with Elementor. And now you guys can begin editing. Remember, we are making this page, this Dopefolio page. Jack, you mentioned something. Jack, you said, since we are finishing this page, shouldn't I get the title of my page since I missed it? Jack, let's put a hold on that. The reason why I'm saying that is because the way we done that for our next session, I'm actually going to probably end up undoing it, right? And Jack, what you missed and what I'm referring to is simply just removing Jack's website. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's there thus far, but it's something that we're going to work on as a team next week. So I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And I know we probably may not finish within the 15 minutes, but let's try. Okay? So, and what I would say to all of you guys is, because of time, I want you to leave styling till last. Yeah? So get your structure in, put everything in first, put all your words in, and then you can go on to styling. So do the styling last, so we have the structure and we have specific words on the page. And I'm here. Yeah, so I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So if any of you need any help, let me know. Guys, how are you getting along? Give me a thumbs up if everything is okay. Give me a thumbs up if you are getting along fine. If you have any questions, please remember I'm here. We've got about 5 minutes left. As I said to you guys, I want you guys to get the structure in. Don't focus on styling as of right now. Get in the structure, get the specific words, the paragraphs, copy it from Ram's website, and then paste it on there. If you have any questions, I'm here. So, Temi, the footer and the header is something that we're going to focus on next in our next session. Okay, guys. So it is 8:30. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick at random certain people just to show us the work that they've done. I don't expect any of you to have finished. I don't expect any of you to have finished, but just to show us what you've done so far. And perhaps if there's something that you've missed out or something that can be improved, then us as a team will be able to let you know. So I'm going to pick someone at random. Let us do Precious. Let us see what your website looks like. So do you want to share your screen for us?
Yeah. Um, oh, okay. I think it's sharing. Should be sharing now.
Looks good.
Wait, I can't click the different tab. Hold on. Oh, this one. Yeah. So I've just got up to this.
Perfect. So do you want to hit the
Yeah.
panel for us? Looks good. Looks very, very good. Looks amazing. So in terms of your next step for this part here where the text editor is, what was you going to do for your next steps?
I was gonna decrease the size of this and then obviously change this to what this is here. Change it to project overview.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just need to add these bits.
Good, 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 good. Remember, we need to add our margins or perhaps padding. Yeah, this
yeah.
section here.
Mhm.
So don't forget that. But thank you very, very much. I'll leave you to do that. Do you want to stop sharing your screen? And let us have Karina Green. Do you want to share your screen?
I don't think I can share my screen, but I can take a screenshot and send it in the chat.
Okay, yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Tammy, do you want to show us your work? Oh, Mohammed Abdulaziz, you've nominated yourself. Perfect. Do you want to share your screen, Mohammed Abdulaziz? Tammy, you can share your screen later.
Okay. So this is how much I got up to.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Very, very, very good. So just a quick one. In terms of this part here, where your text editor is, do you want to quickly walk us through how you got the spaces on the side?
I went on the container.
Yeah.
I reduced the width.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like it's more centered.
Mm-hmm. So you added inside the container, you added your text editor, and then you added in your project overview. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I really like that. And did you add any padding or margin?
I think so. I'm not sure. No, I didn't.
So I like what you've done here. You've done it a different way, right? So talk me through again how you was able to get that in the center and leave the sides out.
So you just go on container where the 6
Yeah.
dots.
Yeah.
It's a layout. And
Yeah.
then you go to width. Then you
Yeah.
reduce. And then the more you reduce it, the more it goes to the right.
Perfect. Do you guys understand what he's done there? Give me a thumbs up in the chat, because this is a different, more simpler way to add the sides, right? Alternatively, he could have literally changed the padding or maybe margin. Bear in mind, his container is boxed. Yeah? So, okay, perfect. We've got some thumbs up. Karina shared hers as well. Looks amazing. Honestly, guys, I'm so proud. I love what I'm seeing. Amazing, 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 Karina. Very, very, very good. Honestly, I'm very happy with what you guys have done. Amazing, Karina. Let me pick someone else. Thank you so much for that. Who do I want to pick? Who do I want to pick? Demichi, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You've been fairly quiet. Do you want to share your screen? Demichi, do you want to share your screen? In the meantime, let us see Ofochi. Do you want to share your screen? And again, I don't expect all of you to be done. Yeah, I don't expect you guys to be done. I think we've got a few shy people. We've got a few shy people. Okay, Ofochi said okay. Do you want to share your screen? Go ahead.
Yeah. T. Okay.
Perfect. Looks good. The only
So
thing.
I'm not done with this because
Okay.
there was not time.
Okay, but and how are you going to change the width of that? Whilst we're here, we might as well see you do that.
Of the slider.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah. You was there before, not there, but you could use that. But there's something else that I want you to change. No, you're on the right page. You're on the right page.
The minimum height? No,
Not the minimum height. That can be changed. But in terms of the width, look on the page. Look on the page. We're trying to change it.
What this content width?
Perfect. And exactly. What laptop are you using?
I'm using a computer.
Okay. So that's why yours looks a bit wider than, for instance, all of ours. But it should be full width, and then you can now start playing about with your width. Right?
Yeah.
Perfect. You've done amazing. You've done amazing. So, guys, just a quick one. Keep sharing your screen for me, Ofochi. Have you got Ram's website up for me?
No, but I could get it right now. Rams.
Okay. And I want you to scroll down, stop here. So we've just done the dope folio. Yeah. Scroll down a little bit more. You can see there are a few more that need to be done. So if you scroll up, you see crown template. If you click case study.
Where?
Yeah. Select case study.
Case study, okay.
Yeah. You'll see that there's another one that needs to be done. More that needs to be done, right? So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on getting that done. So Ali said, should we link it? I don't want us to link it just yet, only because there's 4 other pages that need to be done, right? There's 4 more that need to be done. So next week is our last session. And what we're going to focus on is getting those done. Ideally, what I want is for you guys to do 3, right? So go back for me, Ram. Mama calling you Ram. Ofochi, go back to Ram's page.
The main one. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So stop there. We've got Wilson Port left. We've also got Boreal Coffee Clone. And we've got Crown Template. So the same page that we just made, it needs to be done for these 3. Notice, guys, that the pages, the layout is the exact same, right? The layout is the exact same. So you guys have just done Dope Folio. In your tab, you've got the Crown Web one. Click on that again for me. Scroll down. Notice that this is the exact same as what we've done, right? So what I want you guys to do is there is 3 more of this that needs to be done. So I want you guys to do 2. And in order for you to do the 2, you're going to make a new page. And then for the dope folio one that we've just done, what you're going to do is copy the containers. Not what's inside the containers, but you copy the containers. And you paste it onto your new page. Then you can change the words, you can change the images. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Once we've done all of the pages, then we're going to go to the home page and then we're going to add the links of these pages. So just to confirm, altogether, there is 4 of these portfolio websites that need to be done. So when you look at the project, you can see there's 4 of them. We've already done 1. Now there's 3 left to do. For homework, I want you to do Wilson Port and Boril Coffee Clone. In order to do this, again, I'm repeating myself, because the template, the page structure is the exact same for all of them, all you need to do is go to Dope Folio for me, please. The one that you've done.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you guys will need to do is literally copy the containers and then you'll paste the container onto the new page. Yeah. So you'll copy and then you'll paste it. Once you paste everything inside, so for instance, scroll down for me where it says project overview. Okay, so that is, you've put it in the same.
Yeah, it's in the same
Okay.
container as every.
And that's fine. That's fine. So what he would do is he will copy that container, make a new page for the next one, right? So let's say he wants to make a page, or you can do it now even. Add a new page. And let's say you're doing the
Wilson Port.
Wilson. Yeah.
How do I get this off? Okay, I'll just wait for it to go.
What are you waiting for?
There's a Zoom tab above the.
Oh, okay. Wilson Port. So what do you need to do next? No.
Oh.
Okay. Don't worry, don't worry. So do you guys, in fact, let me tell you because of time. So because you didn't change the width on that page, click the settings at the top in the middle. Yep. Then you'll see in the panel, the last one where it says page layout. Select that, full width. And I want you to hit publish because you didn't publish the page. Yeah. And then I want you to refresh the page. Go back and copy for me. Copy the container. Yeah, let's say
This
copy
one.
this. Yeah. And then you'll simply paste. Do you guys get that? So this is what I'm telling you to do. Yeah. And what I want you to do is to then, what he would do is literally just change the words here. Change the words. But that's it for us today, guys. Let me come back on camera. I know you guys have missed me. It's okay. So what we are now going to do is we are done. So I'm going to see all of you guys next week, same time, 6. And then that will be our last session. And we will round up everything. So then we're going to do the header and then we're going to do the footer, right? I normally, when I'm doing websites, I always start off with my header, right? I start top going downwards. But I think it's providing you guys are not website designers, the header can be quite complex. So that's why I wanted to start off with the main body, because that's where you can actually learn. And then we will go to the header. So that is it for today. Let me know in the
Quick
chat.
question, please.
Go. Yeah.
Sorry. You
Pressure.
mentioned that there was like a website where you can get like different images.
Yeah.
If possible, do you mind linking that?
Of course. I've
Thank
put it in
you.
the chat, but let me go and get it again. Okay, here it is. I'm going to paste. It's called unsplash.com. So what you can do is take the images from here. Now, if you guys have spare time and you want to brush up on your skills, you can literally make a website, right? So let's say you want to make the Facebook page. You can literally create a new page on your website and then start replicating it. So that's if you guys have time and you want to brush up on your skills. Remember, with Shapeways, we do have opportunities where you can get paid to make a website, but you have to be good first. Yeah. So when it comes to website design, remember, the more you do, the better you get. So personally, I think all of you guys are good. All of the work that I've seen, you guys are good. So I can only imagine if you guys are doing this for even an additional 3 months or practicing what you guys will look like. But let me know in the chat how you found today's session. Did you learn something? Was it good? Was it fun? Are you happy you took this course? Let me know before we go. And yeah, let me know how today's session was before we go, please. And also, I know today was a little bit harder. Today was probably a little bit harder than what we've done before. Amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. So I hope you all have a lovely evening. Also a lovely weekend as well. And I will see you next week, same time. Remember, next week is our last session. So come with your A game. But anyways, guys, have a good evening. Goodbye.
Hello, I just want to ask.
Yeah.
After next week, there's no more.
So after next week, that's our last session, right? Is Giovanni still in the chat?
Yep.
Yeah, so he can go into a bit more detail.
So basically, to answer your question, so yeah, after next week, it will be like, it won't be with everyone. You will begin to like book one-to-one sessions for the remaining 6 weeks. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
What time would they be?
So
And how
those ones is now you'll be able to pick. You'll be able to choose in terms of the time that's what's suitable to you. Just as long as it's within the remit of 9 to 5, Mondays to Friday.
So we will have our availability up and then you'll be able to book us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No.
Have a good evening.
You too, Sammy. Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, Giovanni. I'm